Welcome to the second tutorial for Realpolitiks 3 Beyond Earth, where we'll be talking about user interface starting from the top. Here you've got the quick menu, which is a handy tool that allows you several choices of faster access to the information you need to get. So if you have for some reason forgotten where your capital is, you'll get centered very quickly by just pressing the button that you need to. It allows you a quick access to the economy, diplomacy, and buildings windows alongside the war military manager if you really need a fast recruitment. And it adds to possibilities that are not available anywhere else, which is the unification window that allows you to browse, choose, and get guided. In terms of formable nations, this is a later game mechanic that allows you to focus on conquering or acquiring the correct provinces to build up a new state entity with bonuses assigned. And finally, there is the journal that maps out the political turmoils and history of your nation and of the world to a larger extent. On the top bar, we also have the money and the action points, two of the game's currencies, money being the ever-present universal currency that you use to pay for everything, action points being the secondary necessity for many payments, mostly the ones where you have to maintain the structures for a longer term. Now you've got three new resources in RP3, and you can check them out and their income that is being updated on a monthly basis alongside here. And in case you are unhappy with the output, you can always check out the possible developments, which is a hand mechanic allowing you to check out what projects or technologies you should be checking out or building in order to increase your input. Destiny points allow you to tweak certain parts of the game, for example, shorten the research times, also allow you to buy your way through the tree of life in the national heritage. And as you open up, some pretty exciting buffs go alongside it. Manpower is an indicator of how many people are trickling into your system and consequently how large an army you can build up. GDP is an indicator of the state of your economy. You have to be very careful. You generally really want to grow it as much as you can because any important decision in terms of buildings also depends on the size of the province's GDP. If it is not enough, you will not be opening up those new windows. Influence and HDI are two important resources in terms of growth, where HDI, the Human Development Index, allows you to focus on the later stage research and projects within the projects window. And influence is the determinant as to how many actions of a diplomatic and political kind, you can be running at the same time. Once it fills up, you've got to cut one of these through and to ensure that you can spread your influence somewhere else. Now, political stability is a parameter from 0 to 7, and it allows you to increase the way your country comes together. So the higher the stability is, the higher the income, the happier the people. It is the internal situation in the country. It is easy to lose stability and with it to spiral down the dark corner. You also have your project and research markers that will indicate how many percent is left to research a tech or finish a project. This can be shortened by, again, using ministries or the destiny points. The system of notifications has been changed in Realpolitiks 3. As you can see, any notification can be directly accessed by clicking on the detail. It will lead you to the appropriate problem that you can solve. So if there is anything missing, if your financial situation is clear, you can always check out the notification bar to see whether there is nothing out of ordinary. The next couple of buttons are the controls of the speed of the game. You can easily stop and pause by using spacebar. This is a handy and easy to control and understand piece of interface. Next, your game time. You start out in 2010 and move to the end of the 21st century. The time lapse is the next button in line, and it is a mechanic that essentially shows the history of your achievement throughout the gameplay of the campaign. You can always bring up and check out. And finally, we have the main menu button with the usual game and in-game main menu where you can check out the settings, clear out the stuff, and set up the rest of the experience. Sidebar buttons hide important parts of interface the player needs to control and govern his country, such as the internal policy that governs all of the politics within the country, the way it is set up, the way its system functions, and its constitution is set up. So in this case, we've changed England from a constitutional monarchy to parliamentary republic. To this and to the constitutional doctrines, varied bonuses are connected. We have the economy button that helps us set the tax regime, pay off the debt, see the varied stats to check out the way we've been dealing with the economic issues, and also buy and sell all three main resources on the market if there is an abundance of them. Society button allows the player to work with the migration, with the social groups, and the way people come in and are treated in a country, and the way the citizenship is gained or expanded or excluded or restricted. In the projects, the player can find the main controls for the research. Projects are important pieces of progress that are always costly for the player in terms of the money, the maintenance, and the action points. Furthermore, research, on the other hand, is a separate chapter. Player What player researches is researched forever. He can use it, such as a new version of a main battle tank and its more advanced variants. The NGOs are non-governmental organizations. These are NGOs that show up randomly, can offer buffs and debuffs to the player, and it's up to him to open or close these at will. Building browser allows the player to organize and develop his territories without actually going into one of the provinces and having to deal with the province interface. It's a fast possibility of overview. Task Manager stores all of the tasks given to the player by the country's blog, political parties, or the ones that stem from random events. There is always either a reward or punishment on fail, and the player can easily track these within the tracker. The economy summary is a secondary economy window that allows a larger overview of the economy. It is easy for the player to check out where the money is trickling out and plug those holes very quickly, unless he wants his country to become bankrupt. Finally, the victory window gives you all of the conditions you need for the varied victory types, and presents a challenge for the player to aspire to. On the left side, we've got the diplomacy window, where the player can organize all his relations with foreign countries. Then we have the blocks that allow him to control the way he is part of the block or contributes to the block, either existing or the ones that he will create in the future. Stock market, if researched, allows for further investments on the domestic and foreign markets, and also serves as a secondary revenue stream for the player if they are careful to develop it in the right way. The army window allows the overview of officers, the overall stats for the army, and also allows to switch over to the war manager or military manager window, allows for recruitment if there is enough money, and the overall detailed overview of the forces with some comparisons. The intelligence agency allows for espionage at home and abroad of varied types, depending on the development of the player's nation. Provinces give overall overview. This is pretty useful. You do not need to click on the individual provinces, and you can check out if the unrest is too high or if the resources in certain regions are lagging behind the others, so a development might be necessary. The final button and its appropriate window deals with all things nuclear, and it allows you to observe the way you store, you use, and you deal with your nuclear arsenal. Now we'll talk about the map view. You've got several views that you can switch over to. For example, the one that will show you all the divisions will change the flatness of the map. You've got political, you've got a block view, social block, trade block. You've got the varied political block view, and you can play with this to get the little detail on the map. Whichever one you want, that's the one the game will switch over to. Now, you also have the bottom notifications. These serve as kind of news for the world. They will show you what is happening all around you. One of the biggest changes against RP2 is the government window that is hiding under the portrait of your head of state, that allows you to level up your head of state, work with the head of the government, improve their skills, work with the ministries and all of the varied levels of power that allow you to gain significant buffs for your economy and other areas. You have the summary, the way of life that shows the way your nation is progressing. And finally, you have the national heritage, a whole historical tree of decisions that will boost up your national strength and will give you significant buffs to whatever efforts you are making. By right-clicking on any of your home country's provinces, you'll get the province actions floating menu. This allows you to take actions of societal, political, economical nature. It will allow you to support certain views in your country, and it will also allow you to support the current governmental party if you wanted to remain in power via campaign, pro-governmental choices, and so on. So that this makes the province action menu very important. The diplomatic actions you will get by right-clicking any foreign nation's province, and again, it will give you a slew of actions to take in regards to your relationship to your neighbors. The building browser or the province window is always available upon clicking on any province in your or foreign country. Furthermore, you can always get additional details by clicking on the varied active buttons. This also includes a building browser. Upon clicking an empty slot, you can choose any building that is available, and you have the resources to be built forthwith. And as you can notice, you need parliamentary votes for some of these huge structures. Finally, one of the most important things, and having this being a tutorial, you also have the integrated tutorial in the form of compendium. If you click one of these lovely question marks, you will get the full compendium with a search engine. You can find varied questions that will explain the varied mechanics of the game in a more of a detail, or they will show you a video of how the mechanic works. So this should always be your first stop if you are unable to find something, a tutorial for a tutorial.